Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. My name is Vinod Nair, and welcome to the Accelerate workshop tracks on the top 5 most innovative practices in diversity hiring. This session will be held between 1:30 to 4 p.m. And I also request all the attendees to kindly post their questions on the Q&A sessions so that I can relay the same to all the speakers. All right. So our next speaker for the day is Ms. Shilpika Saxena. She is the Executive Director for Morgan Stanley HR. Shilpika, the stage is all yours. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Vinod. Yeah. All right. I hope I'm here now.
Yes, all clear.
All right. Thank you for inviting me. Let me say that I did not have a presentation. I thought I would just talk through the key initiatives that we have run towards the hiring in Morgan Stanley. Sure. And let me start by introducing Morgan Stanley to all of you. So we are a global financial services firm with more than 30,000 employees in 38 countries. And we help people, institutions, governments manage to build the capital that need to achieve their goals. And since our founding in 1935, Morgan has essentially delivered first-class business in a first-class way. And underpinning all that we do are our core values. Diversity and inclusion has always been an area of focus for our firm and has always been implicit in our core values. However, in 2020, with the announcement of our new core value, which is commit to diversity and inclusion, we have made our expectations with respect to diversity, inclusion, and belonging more explicit. We also announced the creation of Morgan Stanley Institute for Inclusion, which will be responsible for setting policies, putting in place metrics, overseeing the mentoring and development of our diverse employees. And again, in 2020, Morgan Stanley has published its inaugural Diversity and Inclusion Annual Report, which provides an overview of all the efforts that are being done towards diversity and inclusion at the firm. We truly believe that true diversity is achieved when a company's employee base represents the society in which it lives. And hence, central to our D&I strategy is building a diverse workforce that recognizes and reflects the demographics, needs, and values of our employees, shareholders, clients, and the global communities where we operate. The three diversity hiring initiatives that I'm going to talk about now have been focused on identifying new sources and ways of engaging the diverse talent pool available in India. The first one is our Return to Work program. As we all know, in today's world, the careers are fluid and they do not really follow a traditional path. We as a firm see great potential in experienced women and men who have taken career breaks and are looking to rejoin the workforce. So our Return to Work program is actually a 12-week paid internship that helps these experienced professionals re-engage with the workplace using the skills and experience they have honed through their years in financial services and other sectors. This program was launched in 2015 in India, and since then, we have seen 5,000 plus applicants over the last 6 years, and our intern batch itself has grown fourfold in size. It's a gender-neutral program, which is a unique point. And while the program has usually attracted mid and senior level professionals, Morgan Stanley's focus in 2019 and 2020 was specifically to engage and attract senior women professionals through targeted campaigns, referrals, social media, and agency hiring. As we all know, and some of my colleagues before me have spoken about it, that senior women professionals tend to drop off the workforce due to various reasons. And hence, it was important that we find ways to reach out to this pool and bring them back to workforce. As a result of this focus in 2020, we saw an almost increase of 32% in the number of applicants for our program. This Return to Work program usually starts in September with the marketing campaigns and the application window of almost 8 to 10 weeks for the candidates to apply. This is followed by an interview process, offer extensions for internship, and engagement of candidates with their hiring managers, etc., before the actual internship period starts. The start of the internship is a 2-day orientation program, which includes professional development sessions, session on Morgan Stanley business and culture presentations, as well as trainings to help interns settle in. And during the 12-week program, there's an ongoing engagement and development event, as well as a midpoint evaluation that we run. Now, given the pandemic and ensuing work from home mode for all employees in India, in 2020, we had to pivot to a virtual mode, which required us to change our entire approach towards hiring, as well as running the whole internship virtually. So we had to redesign our hiring approach and introduce virtual hiring super days across major business divisions. These super day events that we planned were not only focused on conducting interviews, but also included opportunities for the candidates to engage with the senior leaders at the firm and to understand the culture and values. We also redesigned our approach to improve effectiveness of the internship in a virtual mode. And this was done through extensive preparation with, from a hiring managers, our business leaders, and HR. To talk about a few things that we introduced, especially in a virtual mode, was ensuring that each and every intern has a buddy, apart from a mentor and a hiring manager. We ensured all of them have buddies that they could reach out to at any point in time. We ensured that our return to work alumni of previous batches were part of these regular engagements so that they could guide these interns who were anyways not in the workforce, and when it was time for them to come back to office, they were forced to again work from home. So it was very important that we made them as comfortable as possible and had enough and more touch points throughout their 12-week internship with us. And I'm extremely happy to share that the virtual mode did not impact the ratio of conversions for interns to full-time employees, and for us that usually has been about 70%. Another great outcome that came from these hiring drives was that we were actually able to select some direct lateral candidates who were actually ready to join the workforce then and there and did not really require an internship for them to make the transition back to workplace. So that is the first initiative. The second one was aimed at attracting senior women professionals, laterals, who are part of our workforce. But as we all know that availability of female talent at senior levels continues to be a challenge, and it requires a very different approach in sourcing as well as engaging this talent meaningfully. So we actually thought that this pandemic actually has given us an opportunity to try something new, something that we have not thought of before. And with that, we actually planned our very first senior women in technology event in 2020. Obviously, it had to be virtual, but being virtual became an opportunity because we realized that candidates at such senior levels generally do not appreciate they're just part of a high, even part of a big group that is coming over to our space. So the event actually gave them a lot of comfort to join the event, engage of the firm, hear directly from the senior leaders of the firm in terms of what's the firm's strategy, what's the direction and importance of D&I for us. And these engagement sessions were then followed by a hiring event, again run virtually. And even during that event, there were enough and more opportunities for these women candidates to network with the leadership, with HR, discuss about future opportunities, aspirations, etc. The first event was tried for the technology group, and then with the success that we saw, we planned similar events for to reach women professionals in our other divisions such as operations and fund services. We were able to connect after the initial sourcing and screening of the candidates and looking at their fit, more than 300 senior women candidates with 10 plus years of experience were actually engaged through these events. And obviously, we saw great results in terms of the conversions as well. And this also has created a pipeline of talent for 2021 for us. So that's the second initiative that we ran. Moving on, while these two initiatives have been focused on natural talent specifically, The campus hiring team at Morgan Stanley India introduced some key initiatives to improve gender diversity for its intern pools in 2020. And I'm going to talk about some of the key initiatives that they took. So the first one was the online tests that we typically conduct for technology hiring. Now, our test initially was focused, or I would say heavily focused on coding and programming skills, etc. And we realized that that's not really a great way of evaluating a candidate, because you would need to have a more holistic evaluation. It's easier said than done, because for many years that's the approach that we have taken. So we've worked with many of the candidate or student groups in colleges, engaged with the professors, leveraged our network that our alumni have with the campuses that they are from, and brought in new tests, which is now focused on more quantitative, qualitative problem solving and logical thinking. This has greatly helped us in improving the pool, the diverse slate of intern pools for 2020. The second one was leveraging some key events to engage with campuses and especially the female graduates better. One of such days is celebration of International Women's Day at campuses. We used this opportunity to educate and guide these female graduates to make them more informed about the various career options that they have in technology and specifically at Morgan Stanley. For these, we partnered with our business leaders and we ran sessions which were actually focused on three key pillars, which was to excite, to engage, and to educate. And again, the idea was to create a futuristic talent pool, given that many of these graduates were in the initial years of their graduation. So again, focus on pipelining candidates, getting them to focus on the key skills, etc., so that when they are graduating, they are ready to join the workforce. The other one was open house sessions with the graduates. And this is basically to understand how is the messaging of Morgan Stanley being perceived at campus. So directly hearing from the customer or the client, as they say, that what else is needed and for us to attract this talent better, for us to help them plan their journey and transition to workplace better. So these open house sessions were done with these graduates to understand if they had any inputs for us to maybe develop programs for supporting diversity hiring better. We introduced Campus Connect programs as part of that, and we actually introduced mentors and alumni of these colleges to train the candidates and to support them in bridging the gap from campus to corporate. And the last, but not the least, the key initiative that the campus hiring team ran in 2020 was around open source recruiting. As we all know that many of the technology institutes don't really have a great diverse slate of candidates, and hence it's really important that we look at new ways and markets to scout talent from every other part of the country. So the open source recruiting actually helped us in expanding this talent pool and bring in greater diversity in hiring. So all of these initiatives that I just spoke about actually has helped us moving the needle in our diversity hiring initiatives, whether it is for lateral or campus. We've definitely made great advancements, but we know that we're on a journey, and we will continue to look for new ways of engaging this talent better. The great thing is that the ownership and responsibility of inclusion at Morgan Stanley actually starts at the top. So our leadership drives inclusion and belonging by championing and embedding our strategy as well as personal accountability within their organization. So that has really helped us in having a more diverse workplace.
Thank you so much, Shilpika, for the insights, and it's a pleasure to again know about Morgan Stanley as well and the kind of steps you have taken in terms of diversity hiring, and wishing you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vinod. Thank you so much for inviting me.